An investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And today we have with us two students who are products of such an investment. But before we get into that, we are watching Around the Conference, and I'm your host, Kenesha Sims. In studio, we have with us Ms. Dernique Bostwick. Welcome.
Thank you.
And Ms. Gabrielle Gibson. Now, we're just going to head straight into this question. How long have each of you been students at Bahamas Academy?
13 or 14 years.
All your life.
Yes,
That's
ma'am.
it. just all your life. And would you each be able to describe your experience at Bahamas Academy? Since, I mean, this is the only place you guys know.
The experience was interesting, and also the spiritual side of Bahamas Academy also helped me grow.
Okay, we're gonna actually get into that that side. Go ahead, Gabby. Your experience
My
so far.
experience at Bahamas Academy for the 14 years was reasonable.
Reasonable, she says.
I formed a lot of memories and a lot of friendships that would last forever. The bonds with a lot of teachers, and the spiritually wise. It molded me into the person that I am today.
Okay, and I have two questions out of what you just said. You said it's been reasonable. Could you break that down for me? How has it been?
It wasn't really exciting.
Okay.
It wasn't that exciting, but it wasn't bad. It was all right. It was a good experience in some ways.
Okay.
But it could have been better.
It could have been better in your
Yes,
estimation.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I mean, hey. They say the truth will set you free. But before we even get into all of this, I didn't even tell the people that really and truly who you are. I mean, the only thing I've said is that you guys have been there all your lives. People, we are actually looking at two seniors of Bahamas Academy. As tiny as they look, yes, they're seniors. They're actually seniors. And you spoke about the bond that you have with the teachers, Gabrielle. I interviewed seniors last year from Bahamas Academy, and that was one of the factors that they also pointed out, is that the bond with the teachers, and that's a testimony that both of you can actually attest to.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I have a few, but to be more specific, I would say that the bond that I had with the teachers that I have encountered, the ones who actually stuck, actually believed in me, I would say, and they allowed me to reach my full potential with time.
Okay.
So they didn't expect it then and there, but they believed in me in a way that pushed me to my full potential. And also, sometimes you want to laugh, sometimes you want to cry, sometimes you just want to talk. And the teachers that I formed bonds with, they've allowed me to do anything. They were like the mother on campus for me, or the father on campus for me. And I was quite thankful for.
I mean, I believe that that's also something that's very important. I mean, because you guys are in school for 24 hours. You guys are in school for a lot of hours within the day. So it's a home away from home.
Yes, ma'am.
So as you said, teachers are your parents away from home. So if at one point you feel like crying, I do believe it's within reason that a teacher should allot that, because you know what, hey, every day and everything isn't perfect. So there are times when you're just going to go through emotional things. So it's awesome that you've had that gift, that you've had that experience with the teachers. And the fact that you said the teachers, can I pull from that it's a community of few of the teachers that you've actually.
It's only a handful.
Okay.
It wasn't all.
Well, praise God for those handful. Yes. Praise God for those handful. And Gabby.
My experience with the teachers, a few of them, they impacted my life, and instead of them just teaching, they actually formed a relationship with us.
Okay.
They made sure that we understand whatever we did, and a lot of them, they went out of their way
Yes.
to do whatever we needed done.
Okay, so that also helped to know that, okay, I'm not just doing this for me, but knowing that you had that backup.
Yes, ma'am.
You had that person, that cheerleader,
Yes, ma'am.
who's also the teacher. That's a good combination. Before we go further into this discussion, who is Gabby and who is Dernique? Like, who are you guys? Like, let us know a little bit more about yourselves.
I am the valedictorian.
Okay.
The class of 2018.
Yes.
At Bahamas Academy.
Congrats.
Also, I am a track and field runner. I have attended 4 Curfta games, medaled in all the
Wow.
years that I attended.
There you go.
Yeah. that's basically me.
That's basically, what
Yes,
church
ma'am.
do you attend?
Christ Community Church.
Okay, Christ Community Church, okay. Dernique?
I am 17 years old, will be 18 in July.
We just need to make that clear. 18 in July.
18 in July. I have attended Bahamas Academy all of my life. I attend Centerville Seventh-day Adventist Church. I am quite active in my church, and I'm active on campus as well. As you can see on my pin, I'm USM President, which stands for United Student Movement. And the experience for me it's really exciting.
It's really
so
exciting.
for me, I'm not all around, but I'm there. I'm there.
Explain.
Okay, for a person who's all around, you have to be Gabrielle, I would say, is all around athletics, school, or whatever. But I mean, I do volleyball. I was I forgot. I was the captain of the volleyball team.
Okay.
This year, we went to the games. We did our best. My team really tried hard, and we worked as a team, so I was thankful for that. Even though we didn't win anything, it still amounted that we won something because we won the, relationships between each other.
Yes.
So we broke the barriers between different grade levels.
Okay.
So that was kind of exciting. But I'm a person, when I mean there, I'm kind of,
You're gonna get it. Let's see how Billy's gonna break this down.
okay, for me, there means that I don't have to be always in the spotlight, but I'm there. And when I'm there, I'm there.
All right. Okay.
So when I say I'm there, I'm here. I'm actually here.
Okay.
So
Yes, you are here.
literally and figuratively, but a there person would be when sometimes you just watch, and sometimes you can be the person who's being watched.
Okay.
Sometimes you can talk, and sometimes you can listen. Sometimes you could lead, sometimes you could follow. That's a there person for me. So I'm a there.
You're a there
Yes.
person. I mean, it's obvious the fact that you're president of USM. You said you were captain of the volleyball team.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
the Bible is true. It says there's a season for everything. So
Yes,
you know how to. This time I need to sit back and just chill and just watch.
I
Next
think
time
it's
I need to
important.
take up the helm of responsibility and lead. And so do you think that, this is the question what I want to find, because I noticed that you also have on some pins. Do you think that Bahamas Academy has allowed you or fostered you to become leaders?
Yes, Mom.
Yeah, in many different ways. Yes, I do believe. What Bahamas Academy have taught me, because I've been there all my life, I had to get something from it in order for me to be the person I am today.
Yes.
It has impacted me in some way. So I would say yes. And why say yes? You want me to answer that?
Yes, please.
Okay. I said yes because, like I said, the teachers who actually took the time to move me and maneuver me through the system, not in a sense that, she needs to do this or that, who gave me the opportunity to do stuff I wouldn't myself choose, and actually gotten me out of the shell, because...
You were in a shell, Dernique?
Yes, I was. People don't believe, because I'm very talkative now, but it took me a while to get there, because my experience somewhat as a child it wasn't as promising as I wanted it to be. I wouldn't say I was talkative from then.
Okay.
I built
But the
into
teachers
it.
that you...
Yes.
They pulled out...
They pulled out the
belly,
They pulled out the different personalities, and I'm thankful for that. So I feel that the opportunities that they allowed me to take on, even though I said myself, I can't do it, I'm here, and I'm saying I did do it.
And
so,
that's good.
yes, I'm thankful for that.
That's good. How do you, can you compliment the teachers when it comes to that?
Most definitely. Bahamas Academy has helped me to become a leader, both spiritually and academically. They have allowed me to get a close relationship with God, remember who I am, where I came from, academic wise. They pushed me beyond my potential.
That's always a good thing.
I am here today.
And the thing is, I mean, we are now nearing the end of this first half of the show. Could you believe it?
Wow.
It's like I think about, we have about 2 more minutes probably remaining. It
Oh.
went by so quick.
Yes, it
and
did.
I'd like to use those last 2 minutes for you to make an appeal to others who are probably contemplating whether or not they would like to attend Bahamas Academy. What would be your words of appeal to somebody who's on the fence?
Based on the academics and spiritual field, they would grow, and in the end, they would be able to see their full potential.
Okay.
So I would recommend someone to come to Bahamas Academy.
On the grounds of, based on my experience, to get out that outer shell or that inner shell that you are so cramped up in, because it's so many different challenges that you have to encounter, and you are going to find something that you are going to gravitate towards to help you to eventually come out of the shell. So I highly recommend it for anybody who, I guess, is afraid to be themselves sometimes, because even though at any school you're going to get backlash, at any school you're going to find some teachers who get on your nerves, you're going to find some things that just discourage you, but I wouldn't just pinpoint that Bahamas Academy will be that school. No, you will find something that you will gravitate towards in Bahamas Academy, whether it's spiritually, academically, or just a friendship level to find friends. So I recommend it for
recommend
those.
Bahamas Academy.
Yes.
And I want to say congrats upon your graduation, and take what you've learned from Bahamas Academy, because for this next journey, college is a larger playground. It's a Bahamas Academy amplified, like 6, probably 5, 10 times. So the discipline that you guys have learned from Bahamas Academy, I'm pretty sure, is ingrained in your mind, so that you will take it further and will continue to make us proud.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you for being our guest here on Around the Conference.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for the smiles. Thank you for the smiles. Thank you for the smiles. When we return, we will have another guest with us. You are watching Around the Conference, and I'm Kenesha Sims. Stay tuned.
For decades, Bahamas Academy has been offering powerful teachings that prepares you for this life and for heaven.
Sound education grounded in Christian values.
Physical education that contributes to the total being.
Teachers who keep ticking after the clock.
Amenities for healthy living and cognitive application.
An environment that exudes love and acceptance.
You will find warmth. You will find peace. You will find safety. You will find affordable education.
Powerful teaching that prepares us for this life and eternity.
Welcome back to Around the Conference. I'm Kenesha Sims. And before the break, we had 2 seniors of Bahamas Academy, and now sitting in the seat, we have the T. Milton Lewis, who's principal of that establishment. Welcome to Around the Conference, sir.
Thank you.
And you know what? Growing up, I always heard about the Lewises. So it's an honor for me, and it's kind of a little scary to be sitting across from you, because I know the great Toastmaster that you are. So now that I'm having to now think about the questions in my head, making sure my sentence structures and everything is intact before. You are a intimidating presence, sir. I must let you know that on TV. I must let you know that. And not many people intimidate me.
I apologize.
You apologize?
Yes.
I don't accept apologies, sir. But again, thank you and welcome to Around the Conference. How long have you been in education?
I've been in education for 40 years. 37 years with government, and the last 3 years with Bahamas Academy, and 30 years as a principal, 3 years as district education officer and 4 years as a classroom teacher.
And all your life being intimidating. You could just add that one too.
Well, some people might say so.
Add that one to the list. Why teaching?
When I was in elementary school, there was a teacher who made a profound impact on my life. One Mrs. Hutchinson.
Okay.
She was so awesome. And when I went to college, I was not quite certain what I want to do. The options in college, we didn't have that many. And I went along the line of education and no regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets. I'm so happy I did. I got the opportunity to impact the lives and to steer young people in the right direction.
For 40 years.
For 40 years.
And I'm sure, I've heard the quote, once a teacher, always a teacher.
That is true.
So do you find yourself probably when you're out about just being regular T, Milton Lewis, like just going into the supermarket and you see a past student, do you ever get the feeling that you still get the same respect as if when you were in the classroom or as the principal?
Yes, that is true. And it's amazing when you see former students who always remember. You may not remember the names and sometimes not even the faces, but they remember you and they speak of how you impact their lives, the amount of things you did for them. And even students that you don't know, young people, when you see them doing something wrong, the teacher in you would say, correct them. Don't stop running in the food store.
Yes.
Be respectful to your parents. That is a part of you that will never, ever go away.
Never. And I agree. As a teacher myself, when I see my students, it's like, I need to remember, Kenichi, you're not in the classroom anymore. But teaching, you see it as a rewarding profession. And I'm assuming I can get that from you. Explain to us why has it been so rewarding?
A lot of people say that rewarding in terms of financial reward, it's not there. But, you get to pay your bills. You get to do things that you want to do. You may not be able to do all at the same time. But reward comes in different packages. And for me, when you see a student who is failing, a student who is disruptive, who's rude, and you're able to impact their lives to the point where they're no longer failing, but they're doing well. They have taken their rightful places in society. A person who might have been a rude child in school, and years after you see them, they're now productive citizens, that is rewarding for me.
It is, because you know that you had a hand in forming who that person is now. Because you've been in the world of education for so many years, would you say at this point you would have your own definition of what true education is?
When I look at education, and there's so many definitions out there, I believe when you look at education, we want to do things in a different way that would make people turn in another direction. And so if a person is going north and you know that it's not the right direction, after you would have mingled with that person, after you would have spoken with that person, you have taught that person no longer goes north, but would go south. For me, that is education. And so you can change the way people view things. That's education for me.
Okay. And with such a definition, when we now add Christian education to the mix, what's your definition of Christian education?
And I am thankful that we have a Bahamas Academy. And I say thankful we have Bahamas Academy because not only do we focus on the academic as the world knows it, but we also focus on religious education. We are preparing students not only for this world, but for the world to come. And I say not only this world because there are persons who believe that Bahamas Academy, the only thing you all do is Bible and you all teach people to go to heaven, but before you go to heaven, you have to live on this earth. Well, Bahamas Academy does that and more.
Okay.
And so we have the if you want to call it the secular education as the world calls it. We teach the science, the history, the literature. We do all of that. But we also focus on the religious aspect. And for us, that is paramount because after you have gained the whole world and lose your soul, it's not going to profit you anything. And so we want you to have a good life here, but a better life in the world to come.
Indeed. And were you a student of Bahamas Academy in your younger years?
In my younger years, yes. Years ago, I was a student of Bahamas Academy. As a matter of fact, I'm a member of the class of 72. Yes, class. I graduated from Bahamas Academy in 72, and 2015 I returned as the principal.
As the principal.
And so I believe in the product that we have at Bahamas Academy.
How did it feel, or did you at any point when you discovered, okay, education is what is where I feel that I need to be in? Did you feel at any point that you would return to your alma mater in this position?
No, I did not see it. When I started teaching, my brother, my twin brother, was at Bahamas Academy as the business manager. And at one point, he invited me to come over and work for Bahamas Academy. I didn't want to do that because he was there.
Okay.
And I didn't want to have twins, and most people say we look alike. Didn't want to have twins on the campus. And so I took another road. I went with government.
Okay.
But some years ago, 3 years ago, when there was a call, I was asked if I would serve at Bahamas Academy, and I willingly,
Okay.
no, I was not coerced, I willingly took up the challenge to become principal of Bahamas Academy.
And so now that you willingly took up the mantle to lead this establishment, at any point, like walking around, because it's not the same campus. You
No.
were on Wolf Road,
No.
and now it's on Marshall Road. But at any point, do you have this moment of, I was a student of this establishment, and now I'm the principal of this establishment?
You know, there is a different feelings on both campuses. And so on this new campus, Marshall Road, it is a new, ultra-modern campus. Bahamas Academy on Wolf Road, we had some falls and floors there, you know.
Okay.
But you feel as if you are in a very new environment. Yes, being the principal of Bahamas Academy is an honor, and I look back and say, can you imagine that? 72, I was a student. Dr. Carey was the principal, and here I am today, the principal of Bahamas Academy.
Bahamas Academy.
Yes.
Surreal. For me, I feel like it would be surreal to have lived that long to now live in this position. How would you describe Bahamas Academy? And why would you encourage others to have their children go through an experience which you experienced?
I have been to a number of churches promoting Bahamas Academy, and one of the things I would say is that Bahamas Academy is not a perfect school, because there are so many persons on the outside looking on and pointing fingers, finding fault with us. We have some mistakes. There are some things that we need to do. We have made some missteps, but I still believe that Bahamas Academy is the right choice.
Okay.
We can do better. There's no question about that. And I believe that in time, we're going to look at our product and we're going to do what must be done to make it there, to make it right. I have said that we have to make Bahamas Academy relevant to the time that we are in. And for example, I look at our early learning center. It is time that we teach a foreign language. We cannot sit back and say, well, our parents will send our children to our early learning center. That's not true. If we don't have a foreign language, we don't have computers at that school, and there's some other things that we need to have to be in tune with what the outside is doing.
Okay.
Because if we don't do that, then we're going to lose our children to other schools. And same thing with our elementary and high school. Well, I'm happy to know that at the high school level, we have started the advanced placement. We need to do some tweaking to that, and I would recommend and advise those persons who will be in leadership coming this new school year to take that up and as one of our projects and make sure that it works, because parents are looking for their children to be streamed early in high school so that they can go on the accelerated program, writing BJCs in grade 8, and by the end of 12th grade, they would have done some college classes. So when they go on to college, in some instances, they may have completed 1 year or a semester. And so if we don't do that, we're not relevant. Other schools are doing it. And if the schools are doing it, Bahamas Academy must not be left behind. And that is why I say, we have to become relevant, and we are not perfect, but we are walking and heading in that direction.
Indeed. And the Bible says where we lack vision, the people perish.
Yes.
So I'm in agreement with it that we need to keep up with the times.
Yes.
But in your explanation, you said something about the next school year and the leadership, whomever. Am I misquoting you here, sir?
No, you're not misquoting me. When I came on to Bahamas Academy as principal, initially I was given a 2-year contract, and that contract ended, and then I was given another year contract. And so this year, June 30th, well, that's a Sabbath, but the last Friday in June, I would have come to the end of my contract, and somebody else would come on to lead Bahamas Academy.
Okay. Yeah. The mantle will be passed on.
Yes.
It will be passed over. Okay, as we come to, you draw nigh to the end of the show, with this news that you just gave me, it's like, I don't know what to, okay, how would your message to parents, your appeal to those looking on would love to attend Bahamas Academy, and then also, I guess at this moment you can say your thank you, your words of expressions and gratitude at this time.
Yes. Bahamas Academy is a great school, and I would encourage parents, and especially our Adventist parents, to consider Bahamas Academy. I said it is not perfect, but we need each person to help make it perfect. And so standing on the outside, not going to do it. Why don't you come in and see what it is that your school has to offer? If we don't have what you want, let's sit down and let's have a conversation.
Okay.
Let's see how best we can work with Bahamas Academy. I want to thank all of the workers, the administrators, the teachers, support staff, and indeed the boys and girls at Bahamas Academy for allowing me to be a part of that campus for the last 3 years. I leave, and as I leave, I wish all stakeholders the very best. I want Bahamas Academy to flourish, and I want us to become a name out there, and for Bahamas Academy to be the school of choice.
Well said, sir. Well said. Thank you so much for not just only being the guest here on Around the Conference, but also for the 3 years and ultimately the 40 years that you've given to education here in the Bahamas. So although I've not been a student of yours, I would still just like to say thank you for the impact and thank you for your presence. And before we end, I would like for you to pray to end the show. You have been watching Around the Conference. I'm Kenesha Sims, and our guest for today is, I was about to say pastor, is Principal T. Milton Lewis. Happy Sabbath, and see you next week.
Yes, let us pray. Our gracious Father in heaven, again, we pause to give you thanks for all of your blessings on us. We thank you for your grace and for your mercy, and especially we want to thank you for Bahamas Academy and for what it has been doing in this country over the last 100 years. I pray that you will be with the leadership of that school. You would give them wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that they would lead your school in the direction that it should go. be with the boys and girls who attend. I pray that you will imbue them with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that they would be able to take their rightful places here in this society, and that when you shall come, they'll be able to go home with you. Continue to watch over all of your people and save us all in your kingdom. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.